not just through economic reforms, but through the very spirit of determination and collective action. The hardships of the Depression led to the creation of lasting programs and policies that reshaped America's economy, expanded its social safety nets, and prepared the nation for future growth. Similarly, America's experience during the Civil War was a defining moment in its ability to rise from conflict. The nation was torn apart, embroiled in a brutal and bloody war that pitted brother against brother. The loss of life and the deep divisions that arose threatened to tear the country asunder. Yet, after the war, America embarked on a period of reconstruction, striving to heal the wounds of a fractured nation. The process was painful, fraught with challenges, and far from perfect. But it marked a turning point in the nation's history, where the ideal of a united country began to take root in ways it had never before. The aftermath of the Civil War laid the groundwork for the eventual expansion of civil rights, even though it would take decades for the full realization of these rights for all Americans. The ability to rise after adversity is also evident in the nation's response to the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. In the wake of that tragedy, America was shaken to its core. Thousands of lives were lost, the nation's sense of security was shattered, and the world seemed forever changed. But instead of allowing fear and sorrow to define its future, America responded with a resolve that would have been unimaginable to many in the days following the attacks. The nation rebuilt its sense of unity, not just in the physical sense, but emotionally and spiritually as well. The days and weeks following the attacks saw an outpouring of support, a renewed sense of purpose, and a collective determination to overcome the trauma and create a future of greater security and peace. America's ability to rise is not confined to moments of national crises. It is reflected in the everyday lives of its people as well. Throughout the history of the nation, individual Americans have faced personal adversity, poverty, illness, loss, and yet they continue to rise. The same spirit that drove the nation through its most trying times is present in the stories of countless individuals who refuse to give up, who continue to push forward in pursuit of their dreams. These personal stories mirror the larger narrative of America's collective strength, showing that the resilience of a nation is ultimately the sum of the resilience of its people. The ability to rise after adversity is deeply tied to the values that underpin America's identity. It is a nation founded on the belief that no matter how difficult the circumstances, there is always hope for a better future. It is a belief in the potential for growth, for change, for improvement. This optimism, this unwavering belief that progress is possible has driven the nation to overcome obstacles and emerge stronger after every challenge. Whether it's economic hardship, social injustice, or international conflict, the American spirit refuses to be defeated by the circumstances. What makes Americans' capacity to rise after adversity so unique is that it is not a passive process. It is an active, intentional effort to learn from mistakes, to correct course and to improve. It is about taking the lessons of the past and using them to create a better tomorrow. This ability to learn and grow from adversity is what has allowed America to remain relevant, dynamic, and powerful in the face of change. It ensures that no matter what challenges lie ahead, the nation will continue to rise and thrive, fueled by the unshakable belief in its potential and its ability to overcome whatever obstacles it may face. In reflecting on the relentless drive of America, we see that its fire is truly unstoppable because it is built on a foundation of vision, diversity, resilience, adaptability, collective dreams, and the strength to rise from adversity. These elements intertwine to create a dynamic force that propels the nation forward no matter the challenges it faces. The vision that sparked the nation's birth continues to guide its evolution, while its diversity fuels creativity and innovation. America's resilience, both at the individual and collective level, allows it to learn and grow from every setback. Its ability to adapt to new circumstances and rethink its direction has ensured that it remains relevant in an ever-changing world. The collective dream of its people, grounded in hope and possibility, continues to inspire action and progress. And perhaps most significantly, America's ability to rise after adversity proves that its fire is not merely sustained by the winds of fortune, but by the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to be defeated. This combination of elements ensures that America will continue to move forward, its fire burning ever brighter, as long as its people remain committed to the ideal that have made this nation great.
Pain is a good thing physically, because that is your self-preservation mechanism. But suffering is something that you do in your mind. So pain that happens in your body, you take it in your mind and multiply it 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times depending on how capable you are, and suffer it 1,000,000 times over. Right now, most human beings are like this. What happened 10 years ago, they can still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. They are not suffering life, they think they're suffering life. They are not suffering life. They are suffering the two most fantastic faculties that human beings alone have, a vivid sense of memory and a fantastic sense of imagination.
Hey everybody, welcome to Impact Theory. Today's guest is a mystic and New York Times best-selling author who has built one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the world. Named one of the 50 most influential people in all of India, not bad considering the country has 1.3 billion people. He has been invited to speak at some of the most prestigious international conferences on the planet, including the World Peace Summit, the United Nations, and the World Economic Forum. His mission is to raise every human being to the peak of their potential, and to that aim, he established the 𝙩𝙤𝙞𝙨 Foundation, which, with headquarters in both India and the US, has implemented several large-scale human service projects designed to uplift rural areas, help with education reform and environmental stewardship, as well as holistic and healthy living. He's also written several profoundly transformational books, including Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy, and Adi Yogi, The Source of Yoga. So please, help me in welcoming the contemporary spiritual leader with millions of global followers, the man who has cracked irreverent jokes everywhere from MIT to Google on things both mystical and highly practical, the uncompromising Sadhguru. Come after. How you doing? Welcome. I am beyond excited to have you on the show. Going and looking at what you're trying to accomplish in the world is very much in line with what we're trying to do in terms of human potential, which I think is super exciting, but we go about it in very different ways. And reading your book, I was really impacted, and so getting to dive deeper into this, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think the first place to start, walk me through what you mean by potential. Like what do you think is human potential?
So every creature, from a worm, insect, bird, plant, tree, everybody, all of them are trying to be full-fledged lives. If one sees what's happening beneath the earth in terms of the root systems, it is an enormous effort for a plant or a tree to become a full-fledged tree. Well, an apple tree is not trying to be an oak tree, but an apple tree wants to be a full-fledged apple tree. That effort is on in every life. So is it in human beings. But the problem with humanity is just this, that for every other creature, nature has drawn two lines. Within these two lines, they live and die. So their idea of full-fledged is hitting the ceiling of their life. But if a human being hits a ceiling, he gets frustrated and miserable because nature, this process of evolution has delivered to us to a place where there is only the bottom line, there is no top line, though some human beings are trying to breach the bottom line and go below that effort also is going on So essentially, what human life is When life was in the other forms of life that you see on the planet, nature determined a certain compulsive, instinctive ways of functioning. Once you become human, these lines have been removed. You can act consciously. That means what you call as human potential is not of any kind of measurable limit. It can go as far as you desire or as far as you have the courage to walk. So when we say human potential, unleashing human potential, it is not about reaching the peak, it is a trajectory. Because what our life is a combination of a certain amount of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. If you sit, it rolls away, if you sleep, it rolls away, if you do something, it goes away, if you don't do anything, it goes away. You're happy or miserable, it goes away. Time is running out for all of us. So it's only the energy that you can do different things with. If you bring your energies to a certain level of intensity and possibility, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. This means if you live here for 100 years, it feels like in people's impact that you have created, it feels like you lived here for 1,000 years, simply because you have managed your life energies in a certain way. So for me, a human being impactful means, how conscious have you become? This is very important. Because if you're in compulsive cycles, then your energy gets wasted in so many things. If you observe people in a day, let's take 24 hours, in that anyway most people by prescription in America they sleep for 8 hours So 8 hours means 1/3 of life is gone. In the remaining 2/3 they have to eat, they have to, shower, bathroom, this, that, all this, another 2-3 hours gone. So literally 50% of life is gone, daily basis, just for basic maintenance of this life. 50% of the time is gone in maintenance, remaining 50%, what they have. If you look at every single move that they may make with their body, their thought process, their emotions, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words, if you are little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue in your life. So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life. I'm not the issue. My thought, my emotion, my body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life. But I would say for 90% of the human beings, their own body, then the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time.